Welcome to the Media City Bergen Relay 2021. This will be a short and powerful session where we show you what happens when you power a lot of companies with collaboration. Whether you invest in a tiny or a huge part of a new workflow, it almost integrates in lots of directions. Our members collaborate. They meet up both formal and informal and discuss and agree on smart integration. That's why it is easy to implement solutions from our members. As Fadi Radi, the Director of Creative at Al Arabiya News channel says, I buy products from Media City Bergen simply because it works together. Let's give you a peek into some of our members and their collaboration. And we start with the beginning in any TV production, the camera. Electric Friends, Bjørn Nilsen.
So, my name is Bjørn Nilsen from Electric Friends. As I was introduced, we are doing camera robotics. We are doing the robots that most of you recognize from the TV2 news studio. That's our main product. So, in addition to the main the large solution, we are also now creating a product which is a smaller version. The large one is based on SDI technology, rests on a low-profile trolley, and runs on a low-profile embedded, so to say, track in the studio. So it's a very easy system to integrate with the overall studio design. We're also doing software. We are doing a robot control system up in the left-hand corner, and that one can be run or integrated to the Mozart automation system. For the moving robots, we are giving position information out over the or for the AR/VR integration, which makes it very easy to combine our product with the products of Vizrt. All of these arrows going out to the right-hand side, they automatically link up to the next presentation, which is from Vizrt, and I'll give you Vizrt as the next. First step, then.
That's the next one. So first of all, now, for those of you who don't know it, we are now Vizrt group. And that means I got to spend a few hours handing from one of these groups to the other. So you others can wait a little bit. But it's important you know that the Vizrt now consists of new tech, and it consists of NDI as a brand, and of course, Vizrt part. So first to the NDI part. And I can play this video, I hope. Yeah.
True innovation is about freedom.
As a background. So what we're talking about here is NDI. And NDI is the way to deliver live video content. It's the way to free live video content and deliver it from any source to any place. For instance, in this building here, the ambition here is that any video source, such as a camera or a video recorder or whatever, can be shown on any screen in this building, whether it's in the elevator or at our office. Literally millions of users around the world has adopted NDI already. And that ensures that all equipment that is really going to play in the world we live in will support NDI if it doesn't already. It's also something which all of you can easily explore on your own by going to ndi.tv, download and play around with it. Even try to get your phone to become a webcam. It is truly taking the world, and this year we have launched NDI 5, which is the latest evolution of this, which just blows the way to get remote content into any live production there is. You can be a source anywhere in the world, and you can just connect up to more or less any control room studio in the world if they just allow it on an IT background. We are also connecting remote sites with something we call NDI Bridge on that one. It's a true revolution on getting live video content into any production. And that is the food we all live by, right? And one of the places we do deliver the NDI signals to is a product came out also of TV2 Norway, later acquired by Vizrt, Mjoll. And Mjoll is controlling the productions in the normal news and sports studios. Before Mjoll, you might have 20 to 30 people to do a production. After Mjoll, you may be 1 or 2. And that's return of investment. And basically, I am not going to go through that slide. But basically, one thing I will say, though, is that Mozart has lived very well on revolutionizing how productions are done in news and sport live. We are soon coming with a version which will take this step into non-live productions. You wait and see and follow. And, of course, Mozart and NDI delivers to our next guy, Trippel-M, right?
Hello, my name is Vizrt, and I'm here to talk about Trippel-M. So we're one of the lucky ones that get to use all this technology that's developed here, including a lot what Peter talked about, what a lot of the guys after us are going to talk about as well. So what we're doing is a new type of conferencing production, and what that really means is that we saw post-corona, you can actually split up your audience into multiple smaller groups, get the same kind of audience experience, but still utilize some of the benefits like less travel and so on that we have in digital meetings. And that has a big environmental footprint as well. So we're doing that, and an example of that is actually a couple of the sessions here at MCB or at Future Week, where we're connecting Oslo and Bergen yesterday, and we're going to connect Bergen and Stavanger tomorrow. Now, what we have been developing during kind of COVID times is a network infrastructure that we keep expanding on, and that's really exciting. And what makes that happen is actually the NDI technology, a lot of the Vizrt tools, and a lot of the other tools that kind of has been spoken about today. So what we're doing is that every time we kind of expand our production capacity, we're just adding that to our network. So for instance, today we have around, I would say 400, 500, 600 NDI sources in our networks. We have 6 studios. We have around 5, 6, 7 production units with NDI as well. And anytime we need more capacity, we can just add that into this. And the revolution here is really, we couldn't do this a few years ago. It wouldn't be kind of possible with the costs that we're having, but now we can. And this is really, really cool. And we're looking very much forward to kind of expanding our workflows with more of the tools that we're having, with workflows that can allow us to do more efficient ingest and also production workflows with, for instance, tools like Mimir, with other tools like Seven Mountains as well. And they're coming up next. So I'm going to hand it over to Robert, and they would allow us to do planning, for instance. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vegard. I'm Robert from Seven Mountains. I'm going to show you guys Dina, at least introduce you to it. Dina was made truly between these beautiful Seven Mountains of Bergen. Everybody is based here in Media City, and it's a story-centric tool, meaning that all the journalists working in the tool are working on one web-based platform, publishing to multiple platforms. And everything is built from ground up, based on cloud-based technologies, meaning that it's easy to distribute and upgrade and use. So the journalists can work in one central tool and then publish to all of the traditional platforms. And also, we are now replacing the traditional newsroom systems that is used at the broadcasters around the world. So this also gives the journalists one tool to focus on instead of having all these different tools. And to make this possible, the video is, of course, a very important part of a journalist's workflow. And we are closely integrating with Mjoll. So I'll hand over to Steinar, who's going to explain you a bit about their tool.
Thank you, Robert. My name is Steinar Søre. I come from Mjoll, and we have one product. It's called Mimir. Mimir is a production platform for journalists and video editors that need to work with any type of broadcast or other types of video workflows. We launched the company in 2019, so we are relatively young, and we had the luxury of starting from scratch, creating a cloud-native implementation of video workflows. And then we signed up some important customers already back then. In Australia, we had Sky News, which is currently using us for archive, and we are using a lot of AI technologies to index the media, making it easy for them to search and find what they are looking for. In 2019, we extended that to a production platform together with our dear customer TV2 Fyn in Denmark. We did a lot of production workflows, allowing people to edit and work from home so that you don't need to be on site to actually get hold of the assets that you use in your daily work. 2020 was our year of developing live support. So now we have a full range from ingest to a playout, and then, oh, I'm not clicking, sorry. Thank you, forgot about that. Yes. One more, there we go, okay. It is a PAM system. So basically, we are now launching broadcasters and production companies on our platform. The latest one that we launched was Axel Springer, who launched Built Live on our platform. They have more than 250 journalists using Mimir as their main tool for video on a daily basis. We are integrated with a lot of the other companies here, and one of them is Vimond. So I'm going to hand off to Matthias.
Hello everybody. Opposite from Steinar, I only made one slide, so hopefully that will be okay. I'm Matthias from Vimond. As Steinar says, we've integrated with Mjoll. Our product is called Vimond.io. It's a cloud-based video editing tool for sports and news departments that has a need to create video much faster than before. Traditional workflows involve having to download your video into an on-prem editing suite to work with that video and then upload it. Again, creating a lot of waiting time. We needed to solve that problem because when you're working for a sports and news organization, you're working with breaking content and it needs to go out fast. So through Vimond.io, we let you ingest all your content, either if it's live or from VOD, into your browser to start working with content right there, meaning you don't have to wait for these traditional workflows and get your content quickly out. So with that, I'll give it to Wolftech, which is the next step in the workflow. So, over to you.
Thank you. My name is Arne from Wolftech. I'll just take. So what we are making is what we call an multi-platform planning and publishing for a system for sports, news, and also entertainment production. So we are handling everything from the creative phase, where you select what are we doing with this. You're starting with a pitch, and then you have the creating phase, where you are finding out what should we do with this production. Should this be a short form story, or should this be a feature, or a season with a lot of different episodes? And then you go into the collaboration phase, where you are collecting information, you are getting the background information, and you're also connecting to a video asset management system, like, for example, Vizrt. And then we are going further in the process, where we are adding people to the production, we are adding resources to the production, and we could also predict the cost of a production, either a smaller production or larger production. And in the end, we are also then publishing to different social media, TV, and radio. And there we are also having our own rundown, so we are also there integrated to Mjoll automation system. And then when you have all of these data, you need to do some insight of these data also. Well, therefore, I will send over to Higshoft.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Håvard. I have the pleasure of representing two companies in this presentation. So first out is Higshoft. So Higshoft is about 15 years old, technology company. Have their base in Vik and Sogn, but also have an office here in Bergen Media City. So it basically started out with the founder he needed to visualize the snow depth for the local mountains on Vijafjell. So He was frustrated at the time looking at different charting tools to develop, to do these kinds of visualizations. So he sat down in his basement starting developing like a modern JavaScript solution. Today, these visualizations are used all over the world. They have sold over 50,000 licenses and have the world's largest customers on the customer list. So if you are a developer and needs to make these kind of visualizations in your website, your app, go check out Highcharts. The second company I'm representing is everviz. So we are basically a spin-off from Higshoft. So we started out in 2020 building cloud-based charting tools around all of this fantastic technology, and to make it to make it possible for journalists, communication teams, and marketing teams to create stories with data, basically. So we're now a team of 5 people sitting here in Media City Bergen. We're serving customers within communication, journalism, and marketing, and helping them create beautiful visualizations, engaging, interactive visualizations on their own, basically. So we have an office here in the Vizrt startup incubation area in Tower 3. So if you're interested in talking more about visualizations, whether it's Higshoft, Highcharts, or everviz, please get in touch. Thank you.
Isn't it beautiful? Yes. Strong value chains, Anne agrees. That was in fact just some of the outstanding companies in the media cluster. Thank you all for joining on this. Now we are going to hear news from a brand new media cluster in Odense, Denmark. They went on air with Media Cluster Odense this summer, I think. January, okay. And their CEO, Anne Dyrehauge, will come to the stage and give us some insights. Anne, is this a copy-paste from Media City Bergen?
Well, not copy-paste, but I must say we are highly influenced.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much, and hi everyone. My name is Anne Dyrehauge, and I am the CEO of Media City Odense. And, well, there are quite a lot of similarities. There's a new Anna in town. Thank you, nice to meet you. But yeah, I'm here to tell you a bit more about our project in Odense. And as we just mentioned, we started in January, which was at the height of the second corona wave in Denmark. So it's been a tough first half year, but we're really starting to kick off now. So very excited to be here. I was meant to be here in February, but Corona again. So this is the first time I'm actually in Media City Bergen physically, and it is such an honor, and I am so pleased to see how well this actually works in real life, because I've heard so much about it. Yeah, but let's get into it. I'm from the journalistic school in Aarhus, actually. I tried to get in Odense. I was not good enough for that. But I worked at TV2 Denmark for quite a lot of years and had the pleasure to meet some of these very nice companies at NAB in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. So yeah, is this a copy-paste of Media City Bergen? It's not a copy-paste, but it is highly influenced, and we want to take all the good stuff you do, what you've learned, and use it to create something great in Odense. Our mission is to become the most value-creating and innovative media tech cluster in Denmark. And there's actually not a media tech cluster in Denmark at the moment. So in that sense, we're already well on our way, but there's a lot of work to do. A bit about who we come from, what we're made of. Media City Odense is a strategic collaboration between these big media companies you see on the screen, TV2 Denmark, Fynske Media, and then TV2 Fynen, where we're quite lucky to have a bunch of people from TV2 Fynen here today. And we're also created by the University of Southern Denmark. And then we also have funding from the municipality of Odense, but the founders, the 4 founders, are these 4 companies that you see under our logo here. And yeah, it's based on this triple helix construction where we need these 3 partners: the public sector, we need the university, and we also need the industry. And it's very important for this to work. We're also slowly starting to recruit. We are beginning to grow because that's also one of our main ambitions. So just shortly, I'd like to introduce to you some of our new startup members. We have a company called Mediatech as part of the cluster. It's very exciting, a new company that basically makes it possible to look at real life images and spot logos, for instance. So if you are a company that puts money into a football game, then you could actually go to Mediatech and make them check out, is this actually working? How much is my logo showing on the screen when this match is going on? We also have PodUp. They are trying to make it easier for podcasters to earn money because it's a very difficult business. We also have Clipworks. They are making it easier to get video from the end users. And IOGates is not actually a startup. They've been on the market a bunch of years, but they're 2 guys, and they're doing a great work with connecting video between workflows. So that's just a quick view of who we are, where we come from, but this is just the beginning. We want to grow, and we're already talking to quite a lot of new exciting companies. So stay tuned for more on that front. But why is there a need for a Media City Odense? There are a bunch of reasons, basically, and there's a lot of hard truth reasons, because it's difficult to find developers in Odense. It's a big issue getting the right people. So we want to create an environment that's attractive. We want to create a vibrant environment like you guys have here. And we truly believe that we can do more together than we can apart. We believe that innovation happens more often when you go into the different disciplines and when skills meet that don't necessarily always meet. And that's why we want to operate in the intersection between journalism, content creation in a broad sense, communication, marketing, and of course, very importantly, technology, because technology is where all these skills and disciplines, they meet. Odense is actually quite like Bergen when it comes to the size and the shape, except perhaps for all the fjell. It's quite flat in Odense. It's easy to bike, but it's quite similar. And we hope that we can do just a tiny bit of what you've created here, and make an impact together. Yeah, so that's why. That's the big why. And I was just talking to Anne earlier from NCE Media, and another reason is also this huge impact that the big tech companies have in our world. The information flow is faster than ever. The world is basically changing fast, and we need to act now to be relevant. So the best way to predict your future is to create it yourself. A very famous guy told me once, and that's why we're building this, and we want to connect, innovate, and change, which is the 3 words in our vision. Connecting people leads to innovation, and innovation leads to positive change. So that's why these three words are very key and very important in our strategy. And just to tell you a bit more about what we are actually planning to do, I'll show you our 4 strategic pillars of what we are trying to do. The first, this very used word, innovation. But innovation basically covers a lot of collaborative projects. We're just finishing a very exciting project between our founders and the university, or it's basically just starting, but we're figuring out how to start this project. And that's what we hope to be able to help create more of. Innovation projects between the university, but also between companies to companies. We want to be there to help push that along. We're also very much aware of the fact that we need to create meeting places like this, like what we're in right now. And that's also one of the key factors under the pillar innovation. Creating a summit, creating media brunches, show and tells, where the students from the university can meet the CTO of a new startup or a big, perhaps a new internship. That's what we hope we can create. The second pillar, that's what we call skills and knowledge, and this is where the university also has a very big role to play. Because we know that we have to make our people, our journalists, our tech people, they have to move, they have to continuously become better at their job and also learn new skills. So continued education, but also making sure that the right education is available so that we have a food chain that is gonna make sure that we have the right staff in the future. That's what we hope to help foster. But also talent programs and mentor programs. That's also something we are planning to get underway. The third pillar we call entrepreneurship, and this is very much about startups, making sure that there is an environment where we can grow businesses. And this is because of a few reasons. We want, firstly, to have a work place that is where you're basically able to move to as a foreigner or from Copenhagen or Aalborg or Bergen and feel safe that you can stay there and that you can change your work. And there's plenty of work. So we want to create more Mediatech companies in Odense. It's actually not that many Mediatech companies in Odense at the moment, but we believe that we're at a point in time where we're creating something like what is happening here. There's fire burning, and it's going to be bigger over the years. One of our other we were quite inspired by Odense Robotics, and you guys probably don't know what that is, or you might do, because they're actually a cluster in Odense that works with robotics industry and automation. And they've succeeded in creating a ton of places to work in the city, and they've created, they basically put Odense on the international scale because they had a startup program, and they've been able to breed a bunch of new startups this way, and that's it's very inspiring how they've been able to grow from a couple of members to now I think it's 280 members in the cluster of Odense Robotics. So in that sense, we want to be able to create new workplaces, but we also want to have possible funding. We want to make sure that the big companies can put their money in startups see it grow, but also use the startups to be more agile, because a big company like TV2 can be hard to move when they need to innovate sometimes. So this collaboration, we hope we can help with an incubator or an accelerator program, and we're looking to find partners or create it ourselves. That's to be seen. The last strategic pillar is called X Factor. And what the hell is that, you're probably asking? We don't know. It's because we're so new, we started in January, that we are pretty sure we haven't thought of anything. We know that we need to be open for new possible collaborations ourselves as a startup, because it's me and my wonderful project manager, Katrine, up there, and also a student helper in Denmark. So we're quite small, and we need to be able to spot new possible collaborations out there. So please feel free to reach out to me if you feel like there's some way we could collab. So that's why we have this X Factor pillar as visible as we do. On the last note, I'd just like to invite you all to Odense, because next year, and we don't have an exact date yet, but next year, around April, May, we're going to have a Mediatech summit. And it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be big. And we want you all to come. So please check out our website. It's www.mediacityodense.dk. And come to Odense. It's a wonderful city, and we don't have any fjell, but we have Hans Christian Andersen and lots of robots, and a thriving, or coming to be thriving, Mediatech community. We definitely have all the right components for this to work. So we know it's going to take a bit of time. Ting tar tid, as our good friend Roy Thor always says. So we have the long view on our vehicle, and are just excited to be here and happy for this beginning, because it feels like just the start of something great. So thank you guys for having me, and please get in touch.
Next one to the stage is Paul Kalea. He is the CTO and co-founder of GlobalM. They deliver solutions we should all be interested in. Advanced streaming technologies, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Hi everyone, and thanks for having us here today. It's a great pleasure to finally get to come here. And we're a part of the Media Cluster in Bergen, but we're based in Geneva in Switzerland. So with all of the virus and the restrictions and everything, we finally now have the chance to come over here and meet everybody. So it's been great. About GlobalM, we're a startup in Geneva in Switzerland. We build a software-defined video network and mobile app that makes it really easy for anybody to do really high bitrate contribution streaming. Normally, people who are setting up streams know this. You have to go and try to find public IP addresses and manage your firewall rules and all that kind of thing. We remove all of that complexity, by making this software-defined video network really easy for you to program the network, to create multi-distributions, and to even use our mobile app with journalists at a touch of a button. So looking at the network, this is looking at the mobile app, and when the mobile app starts up, it sends its location to our orchestration system. And it says, hey, let's say, for example, this stream's coming from Singapore. It'll start up what we call the stream receiver pod in our Singapore data center. And that stream receiver pod will send the stream URI details back to the phone. That all happens within about a second. So there's no having to copy and paste the host address and port and passphrase and all of that. It's all configured in the phone automatically. The phone uses, on the Android and iOS, the hardware encoder. So we get really good quality video out of our mobile app. We make the battery life go longer because the phone's not overheating by using software encoding. And so the quality and the battery life of the phone is working much better than a lot of the other apps out there doing the same thing. From the stream receiver, we can send a stream copy to what we call stream sender pods. And those stream sender pods start up at the closest possible points to each taker. So those stream copies, as we can keep scaling this out, can go up to hundreds, thousands of different takers. Each taker's getting their own stream sender pod with their own SRT stream URI. That makes it easy for us to be able to scale, control who's taking the stream, so it's good for rights management. And it also makes it easy for us to be able to take somebody out of the stream too if we want. The same applies too for sports contribution. We can do the same thing with any SRT video encoder or decoder. And it can be software-based or hardware-based encoders. We've even done a live 360 stream with this as well. It can be H.264 or it could be HEVC. It's quite agnostic, and that earned us the SRT plugged certification. So there we've got the same architecture in the network, but we're using an external video encoder rather than our mobile app. We have several points of presence around the world right now. So we're up in California and Virginia for North America, Sao Paulo for the South America customers. In Europe, we have Dublin, London, and Frankfurt. For the Middle East, we have Bahrain, Tokyo, Singapore, and Sydney are currently running. And the ones that you see there in blue are the ones that we're bringing on now throughout the year and into next year as well. There we are. So this is some examples of our projects. We did the European Film Awards last year, and we had 40 nominees. Because of COVID, there was no way of getting all the nominees into Berlin for the ceremony. So we shipped them iPhone 11s with the GlobalM app installed and pre-configured. And they just had a one-page connect to the network and push this red button, and they start streaming with the return vision in the app and everything as well. And it went off great. When they made these bigger on the screen, you could really see the quality of the app versus if you're trying to do something with another like WebRTC-based app or something. There's another example. We had this year the Rugby Sevens Olympic qualifiers from Monte Carlo, and here we did a contribution. Normally they would have a satellite truck on site, but this case they didn't. They used us. We sent the stream from the stadium once to Frankfurt, where there was a stream receiver pod there. And then these are all the takers that are in the network in the different locations in Australia, in South America, in Europe. And each one of these, as you can see in this diagram, had their own stream URI, SRT URI. So the resources are dedicated to each customer. One can't interfere with the other. Just to also add that the packet recovery that we've developed between the encoder and the stream receiver within the network and the decoders and the stream senders all works really nicely. So if we have packet drops anywhere in the network, it's recovered. Here's another example, very similar setup that we did in a project with FIBA. You can see that again, we had multi-distribution around the world, and each one of these takers was taking the stream via the stream receiver in Frankfurt. Just a little bit on our mobile app and the adaptive bitrate streaming we've developed. We use the SRT return channel data to be able to receive the available bitrate at the stream receiver back to the phone. That means that for 4 times every second, we're updating the encoding of the phone to match what the true throughput is to the stream receiver. So like some other applications, they'll use the network interface of the phone and measure that, but we actually use the return channel and drive our adaptive streaming that way. It works very well. We have a whole management portal where you can create the streams, create the sessions with the mobile app, or creating multi-distribution services using the SRT relay function there. It's a broadcast as a service, if you want to say. New buzzword. And it's very, very easy for an organization to manage all of their different users, manage their journalists if they're using the mobile app, or manage their different sites. We can set up what we call exchange networks, where you can have groups of broadcasters or groups of affiliate stations being able to exchange content with one another as well. That's us, Lance, our CEO, myself, and Pierre Subon, our head of sales. The three of us, we worked for many years together, and at a big broadcasting union, if you want to say, based in Geneva, but I don't want to say. So, well, three of us met there, and we worked together on building this out with the 7 other developers that we have as well. So that's us. It's 2 minutes left. I went pretty fast. We've got a demonstration over there if you want to come and take a look. We've got the live app streaming from Geneva, and we also have a play out of 21 megabit stream playing out from Geneva to Bergen as well. So come over there, and I look forward to seeing you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Paul. Go and see the application running. Next one up. Suddenly I feel like a student graduating on stage. The reason is that Arne Møller from SpeakLab is the next one. They train people like me. They are professional in hosting events like this and way bigger events. But this time, he's not doing that. He's presenting a new innovation. Let's see what it is, Arne. Please come.
Thank you.
Skal du ha den?
Jeg trenger ikke det. Yeah, bad sound, treble sound, no sound at all. That's what we meet in SpeakLab. Normally we do presentation training, yes, but going out on conferences, meetings, there's always something with the sound. And when we came out, we met all these problems. And we thought, how can it be? Why hasn't somebody fixed it? And then we understand that sound is really difficult. And when I got the phone call from Washington, D.C., my partner in SpeakLab, Cyril Mannes, she was there with a group of Norwegians invited to Pentagon. And she was sitting on a table in Pentagon, on the edge of the table, and she could not hear what the guy up front was saying. So she called me and said that, Arne, I traveled across the Atlantic and I don't understand what these people, and I can't hear what these people are saying. We need to fix that. We need to make a speaker that can help us so we can hear each other. And you know, when women talk like that, you need to jump. And we jumped into that sound field and really experienced a lot of different things. First, that it's about 2 directions. You have the one direction working for music. They try to develop speakers for music and Bluetooth connections with your mobile phone and so, and try to make it smaller, better, whatever. The other direction is what you hear here in this hall, the PA systems, the big monitors, the microphones, the singer, the artists. And there is a gap between there where nobody has really touched into enough, and that's about the speakers, us who do the talking. We just expect that it should be sound. But what did we look for? Yeah, we just looked for something easy to use when you just need that extra sound. So the dream scenario was, you come with your bag, you pick up your laptop, and then you see, okay, I need some sound. What we like to see is if you can bring up your own microsystem. You just put it on the table. You just connect with the power supply. Take up the microphone. Turn it on. And hopefully it works. And then you don't need wires. You don't need all this equipment for small meeting rooms or for small or medium meeting rooms. You can put many of these things, these guys here, on the table to people, and they will hear you, because it will not lift the sound like it do in this room, but it gives you an authentic voice speaker. The sound of your voice will be very much the same as what you hear from my mouth. So what we did was to try to find how can we make speakers that create an authentic voice sound and make it that small. And that was really difficult because we could not make the speakers in this way, because they need more space, because it's air. We need to push air. So we need more space to have that bass into it. So what we did was to try to find new ways to produce that sound. And this is, believe it or not, aluminium, metal. Quite heavy metal, this guy here, but I still can hear my voice here coming out. But it cannot fill this room. But a small room, we can have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and it will work. But the challenge is, how can we make it even smaller, tinier, easier? And we tried different things. Even this one, if I can replace this one, because this is a test station more than a prototype. You can put this on, try to drive the sound through metal, and then it's quite interesting to see how you can make that voice sound. And maybe now it starts screaming a little bit, but you will hear it, my voice, through this speaker. And now now you remove the other one, yeah? And then you can use this in meeting rooms. When we go to Arendal, 1,000 arrangements during 1 week. There is a huge lack of sound equipment, and they use equipment for around 100,000 kroners. They could have used this one or 2, and the problem was solved. And you can also connect more microphones to the same speaker. You can also use it for telephone meetings. We use it for the web Zoom meetings and so on, because it doesn't make that interference. So you don't have that loop of feedback going. So there's a lot of advantage here. You can also put it inside the wall and have the sound coming out from the wall. So it's a different way to do it. And we are just starting, because we have the knowledge and the technology to fix the speaker. The problem is the microphone. And I borrowed this from Røde. I must admit that. We made one ourselves, but this is from Røde. But the principle is the same. Just an easy microphone to use, and it works when you plug in the power supply. And this is what we are aiming for. So in Norway, we have some exciting environments working with microphones, and hopefully we can collaborate with those ones, and maybe in Odense too. They're good with sound in Denmark. So we need some help, but we are sure that if we can use this speaker with an easy, good quality, small microphone, we have the beautiful solution we need, and hopefully for you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arne. Really eager to see that product on the market in the web shop and at IBC in December. Hopefully. Next member on the stage is NagellD, represented by Helge Bjordal, chairman of NagellD. They are a kind of production house. They produce animations, interactive solutions, and virtual reality experiences with huge impact. The floor and screen are yours, Helge.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? We were actually 10 years this Tuesday, so it's quite new. We are very concerned regarding sustainability. We are working towards the UN sustainability goals, both for ourselves, but also for our customers. So how can we do that? I can spend the entire week on this stage telling you how. So I got 10 minutes. So today, I'm just going to talk about digital twin. Is better? Okay. So what is a digital twin? It's a digital representation of a physical object. That's the easy version of it. We're going to keep it there today. Do you know Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Yeah? If you see, I don't know if you can read it. It says, always know where your 3D models are. Hitchhiker's Guide was always know where your towels are. The 3D models are just as important as the towel. If you don't know where your 3D models are, you cannot make a digital twin. This is extremely important. Most people today, they are not concerned about the 3D models. The 3D models are just something used when building the object, like a ship. So what you need to do is to keep your 3D model through the entire life cycle of your product. And why? We at NagellD usually work with ships and oil rigs, I know, God forbid, and buildings. But we're also a member of NC Media. We are member number 100. So what are we doing regarding digital twins and media? Well, we are working now with a project in Kaupanger called Vite Mer, Know More, if you like. It's a kind of exhibition center. We are making a 270 degrees film for them, if you can picture that. It's a film going from here all the way around here. And it's 2.5 meters high. And we are making the film, and we have one problem. It's not finished built yet, the showroom. So how can we collaborate with the people that are going to buy the film when we don't have anywhere to show it? We use a digital twin. So how we do that? Yes, we took the 3D model of the building from the architect, put it into VR, virtual reality, you know, the goggles, put the film into VR in the showroom. So in VR, we were actually show-proofing the film. And we were 4 people at Kaupanger. We were 2 people in Bergen and 1 person in Porsgrunn, looking at the film at the same time in VR. So that's a use of digital twin in media. You can actually build the entire studios, build the entire presentation areas in VR, and then test everything in VR before you start building it. We can do that. So we're working a lot with aquaculture, large ships, oil rigs and everything. We also found why not do it when it comes to actually presentation, especially in places that does not exist yet. So that's why we started using this digital twin. And also this Vimond Center, we made this 270 degrees film. We also made a VR simulation. We were going into Sognefjorden. But the problem for Vimond is that they are going to have like 50 different exhibitions, both physical and digital. But they had no building to put it yet. So they asked us, can you take the entire building so we can place and make our exhibition center in VR for now? So they've been actually placing their exhibitions in VR for 6 months. They moved in last week, knowing where everything should be, because they had a digital twin in VR. And now when the building is finished, you might think, oh, they don't need a digital twin anymore. They don't need the VR presentation. Yeah, they are. The girl that's marketing Vimond, she brings 3 or 4 VR goggles to a sales meeting. Put the goggles on the different people and say, hey, let's visit Vimond. I'll show you how it works. And it still isn't finished building. So they have started selling it for like 3 or 4 months now using VR. So if you're not that big physically yet, you can be really big in VR, showing your entire thoughts, what you want to do, and of course, collaborating from Odense to Bergen to wherever. Yeah, I always speak too fast. I was supposed to use like 10 minutes, I think. Never do this in 10 minutes. Anyway, we have 2 minutes. Anybody has any questions? I'm allowing them stuff. No questions. You have my email. Yeah, we are also located, we are collaborating with Deloitte, Green Floor, and Rainfall, both situated in this building. So we have a holodeck at 13th floor in mid-tower, where we are showcasing 360 degrees film and VR. So I can't take you there today, but if anybody wants to go, please send me an email and we'll meet up at the holodeck. All right. Thank you very much.